Welcome, Sens Talk.
Russell winds in, feeds it back across the strike, and scores! Brady Tkachuk makes it 2-0. Giroux, hit alone, scores!
Tim Stutzock cross, Tkachuk score! The captain, Brady Tkachuk, buries it with 1:18 to go.
See you later. Go, Sens, go. Welcome, Sens Talk. My name is Brandon Plant, and I am your host. Tonight, Ottawa took on the Anaheim Ducks as they look to improve to 5 wins in a row as they're on a 4-game winning streak, the most wins in a row they've had all year. Looking to extend that streak to 5 games against the Anaheim Ducks, one of the worst teams in the National Hockey League, a team that is, frankly, not looking to win many games. They're looking to get back into that draft lottery. They get Celebrini. So, for the Ottawa Senators, who have a slimmer of a chance to potentially claw their way back into the playoff race, this is one of those games they must win. But before we get into the game recap, I just want to say thank you to everyone that's nominated us for 5 different awards at this year's Ottawa Awards. It's an unbelievable honor to be nominated for multiple awards, just like last year. We even won one, the best YouTube channel in Ottawa in 2023. So you know what? While being nominated in itself is an incredible honor, once you're nominated, you might as well win this thing. So if you wanted to vote for us, you can do so once a day. I'll put the link to that in the description and comment section down below. We're up for 5 different categories in the media and digital and social categories. So you'll find us there. Thank you so very much for your support in nominating us. Now let's win this thing. So with that, let's get back into the recap. So as I already mentioned, Ottawa looking to win 5 straight games. They've won 4 in a row going into this one. They're 8-2-2 in their last 12 games and find themselves 14 points. Still a tall hill to climb, 14 points and 3 games in hand out of the final wildcard spot. While Ottawa as well has collected points out of their last 9 of 10 games. Now, you know, things are looking good for Ottawa, but as you'll see as we go into the game recap, that's where the good vibes end. And speaking of vibes not being great, Artem Zub remains out of the lineup. Maxence Guenette gets called up for a second career NHL game. This is a prospect that's really flown under the radar, I think, for a lot of Sens fans. He's led the way quite often on the blue line for the Belleville Senators. He's kind of a diamond in the rough, a hidden gem, you can call it, a late draft pick. And once again, he's been a very good defenseman on both ends of the ice for Belleville. He got a 1-game opportunity last year as a reward for a solid AHL season. And I think this is a prospect, especially, you know, Bruce Garriock tonight said guys like Lassie Thompson might be on the move. Eric Brandstrom might be on the move. So for a guy like Guenette, who's still young, who was drafted by this organization, he's a right-handed guy. This is a guy that definitely has a chance to be a name you're going to hear about for the next little bit, especially, like I already mentioned, with guys potentially on the move sometime soon. Now, Joonas Korpisalo starts for the Ottawa Senators tonight, and going to this game, in his last 6 games, he's 3-1-2. In his last 9, he's 6-1-2. In that stretch in those last 9 games, 901 save percentage, 2.51 goals against average. So it's safe to say Korpisalo in the last 10 or so games has been far better. But we go to the first period of play, and Ottawa starts off sluggish. They can't get anything going. They can't get a pass. They keep on falling. A lot of interceptions. Very poor play. And it looked like they were hungover, to be honest with you. I don't know what the hell the Sens were doing last night before this one. But they were not ready to play this one, that's for sure. And the Ducks, they weren't exactly ready to play either. It's not exactly like the Ducks in this one were outplaying us by any means. Both teams were pretty sluggish. In middle of the second period, for context, the shots were like 10-7 in favor of Ottawa. This was not a barn burner until latter half of the game by any means, and we'll get to that later. But about 9-10 minutes into the first period of play, the Ducks would capitalize on another Senator turnover. Once again, there was multiple turnovers leading up to this point. Ottawa was just kind of standing around throughout the first 10 minutes of the first period of play. And once again, no passes connecting with one another. Inconsistent, positioning. They're very much so out of, positioning. I think I saw 2-3 guys in the first 10 minutes fall down. They were just sluggish to start, and the Ducks capitalized. Mintyukov, the former Ottawa 67, would gobble up a big rebound from Korpisalo and would capitalize for the Ducks to make it 1-0 Anaheim for the former Ottawa 67. That's a big rebound there for Joonas Korpisalo, but I can't really blame him on that one. Joseph left a bit of a lane there, made Chabot a little confused on that 2-on-1 opportunity. But Chabot as well has to be better, of course. You can excuse him for being a little confused on that 2-on-1 about who to take since Joseph was caught back and created that turnover. But at the same time, after that shot, why are you just standing there? Put some pressure. Box out Mintyukov, right? And he doesn't. Mintyukov can come right to the net, puts it home, as the Ducks would lead by 1 after 20 minutes of play. And like I mentioned, not much going on. To the second period we go. Not much going on until Ottawa takes a stupid penalty. And with about 3 minutes left in the second period of play, the Ducks would start running away with this one. Frank Vatrano, the all-star, would clap bomb one past Joonas Korpisalo, glove side and in. This is one you probably want to be stopped by Korpisalo. Not that a one-time shot is easy to save by any means, but this is a goal where Korpisalo went down before the shot went to him and beat him glove side again. So I think if he pressured a little bit more, stood on top of his crease a little bit more, challenged the shooter, of course, a little bit more, and instead of going down right away in the butterfly like he loves to do, use his size. He's a big goalie. He's a huge goalie. Big frame, use your size, get in front of it. I think he would have a chance to stop it. But that butterfly, he loves it. He goes down early, gets beat glove side. And then a couple minutes later, same exact thing. Ottawa. And by the way, I just want to mention this. On that power play goal for Vatrano, going to that one, Ottawa in their last 5 games on the penalty kill was 11 for 11. So that, snaps a very good stretch as of late for the Ottawa Senators penalty kill. And then a couple minutes later, things continue to completely unravel for the Ottawa Senators as the Sens lose a board battle. Ridley Gregg loses it there, and Mason McTavish, who grew up in Ottawa, makes it 3-0 for the Anaheim Ducks after 40 minutes of play. Just inexcusable all around by the Ottawa Senators. Lackluster, lazy effort from beginning to end, but particularly in the first 40 minutes of play, you just cannot have it against a team like Anaheim, who, like I've already mentioned, isn't here to win the Stanley Cup. They're looking to, I guess, play well, but they don't really have playoff aspirations. This is a team destined for the draft lottery. Well, Ottawa's had a disappointing year, no doubt. They should be beating this team regardless of that, but more so, they've been playing far better as of late. They're pushing getting back into the playoff race, so to speak, right? So this is a game they have to win, and they're getting outplayed on the score sheet completely. So being down 3-0 after 40 minutes of play to a team like the Anaheim Ducks on self-inflicted wounds, unbelievable. And that third goal as well beats Korpisalo glove side again. I don't know what it is with this guy. He loves to go down early on the butterfly, gets beat glove side very, very consistently. And I have defended Korpisalo probably more than I should have throughout this year, but for the money he's making and the contract he's on, he's been a disappointment, no doubt, to say the least. And once again, 6 wins in his last 9 games. Things look to be on the come up for Joonas Korpisalo, but this was a stinker, no doubt. This terrible game from Korpisalo would continue into the third period of play as McTavish taps home the 4th of the night for the Anaheim Ducks. Terrible defensive play here from Tom Chabot. Once again, the Sens shoot themselves in the foot. The Ducks capitalize. And moments before this goal, Ridley Gregg literally missed a wide open net. You can't make this stuff up, right? And I'm not going to say we didn't get the bounces tonight, because I'll be honest, Ottawa didn't play well. They got a few chances, sure, and they could have probably scored on a couple of those, like the Ridley Gregg one, but they did not deserve to win this game. I'm not saying, once again, the Ducks played any better. They didn't play great, but they at least capitalized on the few chances they did get. So that was the big difference maker in this one. Ottawa would get on the board a couple minutes later, however. John Gibson had a shutout after 40 minutes of play, but he would suffer some sort of injury. It looked like middle of that second period of play. So Luke Dostal would come in for the third, and he looked pretty solid in the third, but would give up a goal here to Claude Giroux, who steals the puck in the neutral zone. A patented Claude Giroux goal here. Forces the turnover in the neutral zone on a 2-on-1. Rips one blocker side for his 4th goal in 6 games to cut the lead to 3 to Anaheim. Claude Giroux, this guy is so consistent, Mr. Consistent. We should start calling him. We don't deserve him, frankly. We do not deserve Claude Giroux. This guy's a beauty. Makes it a 3-goal deficit, but that would be it for the Ottawa Senators. 5 minutes later, Cam Fowler would score another power play goal for the Anaheim Ducks. This one trickled past Korpisalo, the third of the night that he should have stopped. You need to stop there. This is a shot near the blue line with not a lot of traffic up front that trickles through Korpisalo and in. This guy is a huge goalie. Massive frame. No excuse for this one to go in, as the Ducks would win this one by a score of 5-1, as Ottawa now drops to 22, 26-2 on the year. Now, when you look at the stats, Ottawa outshot the Ducks mightily. No pun intended. The Mighty Ducks. 34-20 were the shots in favor of Ottawa. A lot of that should be credited to the power play. I think Ottawa had 10 or 11 shots on the power play tonight, 3 or 4 of those in the last couple of power plays in the final few minutes. So those numbers are kind of inflated, to be fair, as well. Doesn't really show how Ottawa truly played, which was terrible. The hits tonight, not the shots, the hits, were 29-28. So when both teams are hitting a lot, it shows that both teams weren't really getting anything going. It was a sloppy game where both teams were trying to get something going with these hits. They were chasing the puck a lot as well, which results in a lot of hits. So, not a good game for either team, no doubt. And speaking of that power play, Ottawa's power play tonight, after going 2 for 5 in their last win on Tuesday night, 0 for 4 tonight, they just couldn't capitalize on those chances. Like I mentioned already, the Ducks capitalized on their chances, and the Senators squandered their chances. And after Ottawa went 11 for 11 on the penalty kill in the last 5 games going into this one, the Ducks went 100% on the power play tonight, going 2 for 2. So the penalty kill, not good enough tonight, but I can't blame them really, because Korpisalo probably should have had both of those goals, to be honest with you. Now, like I've already mentioned a couple times, Joonas Korpisalo has to be better. He faced only 20 shots tonight, making 15 saves for a .750 save percentage. Not good enough whatsoever. Not good enough. There's just nothing else to say. This guy likes to go down far too early, gets beat quite often glove side because he's down early, leaving the top of the net wide open. He's got such a huge frame. He's so athletic. I don't understand why he doesn't use that to his advantage. And it costs Ottawa, and particularly Joonas Korpisalo tonight, 5 goals on 20 shots. You just can't have it. You just cannot have that. Again, especially against a team like the Anaheim Ducks, like I've already mentioned, a bottom 3 team in the National Hockey League. Inexcusable. Now, like I kind of alluded to at the beginning of this video, the Ottawa Senators are shopping a few guys, like Mark Kastelic, for example. Bruce Garriock literally said Mark Kastelic would be in the minors right now, and Rourke Chartier would be up with the Ottawa Senators right now if it wasn't for Kastelic being on a one-way deal. So they're looking to move him. Eric Brandstrom's another guy they're looking to move. Dominic Kubalik, we already know the Sens are trying to move. But other AHL guys Ottawa is looking to move as well would be Lassie Thompson, Cole Reinhardt, and Igor Sokolov. So there's a few guys Ottawa's looking to move. But one guy they're not looking to move is Jakob Chychrun, who, Bruce Garriock tonight mentioned how Steos likes the guy. He, scouted the guy himself last year before even coming to Ottawa, that being Steos. So Garriock believes that if Steos is going to trade Jakob Chychrun, it would have to be for an offer they can't refuse. So, in other words, as Garriock says, this is something they're going to reevaluate in the offseason, which, in my opinion, what that means is they're going to look to somehow get an extension going in the offseason and or move some money out to get that extension in. Because, once again, they're very high on this defenseman. They traded quite a bit of assets to get this defenseman. And this is a guy that can help this team be a consistent contender and a solid team in the future. He could be a big part of this team, and losing Chychrun would be a devastating loss to the Ottawa Senators blue line for years to come. So I'm hoping, a contract extension is made, but the fact they're not really looking to move him, which doesn't shock me, to be honest with you, I never bought into those rumors, is great. News to me, and it's music to my ears. And by the way, Chychrun tonight had 4 shots on goal and just under 21 minutes of ice time. You know what? I'll be honest with you. Had a couple of penalties. Not his best game. Had a few turnovers as well. He just did not have a great game. But the rest of the team didn't have a great game either. So I don't really want to nitpick on him. I was a little surprised that overall throughout the lineup, the Sens just were not playing well. Tim Stützle had a couple turnovers, kept on falling, to be honest with you. A few times he fell. Maxence Guenette actually, was very impressive to me in his limited effort. He had just under 12 minutes of ice time with a shot on goal and 2 hits. I thought he moved the puck very well, and hopefully he gets a couple more opportunities in the National Hockey League this year. Hopefully he stays up, especially if Zub isn't returning for Saturday's game against Chicago, because, Guenette deserves a bit of a lengthy opportunity in the National Hockey League. He's been killing it in Belleville the last couple of years. So, besides that, let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Interesting game. Last thing I'll mention, by the way, Brandstrom tonight had 5 blocks, had some penalty kill time. Probably got a couple of those on the penalty kill, but I just wanted to mention that. Probably the only bright spot tonight was that, frankly. It was just that. Or another thing would be Josh Norris. I'm just looking at the stats here. Had 6 shots on goal, 3 hits, but 6 shots on goal. It's a good sign. Norris has to start firing that puck on net far more. Obviously, as we all know, hit that lengthy goal, dry spell in January. So to see him confident and shooting the puck is a great sign. Now, with that, I'll leave it at that. Thank you all for watching. Let me know what you guys think down below, as usual. And I'll see you after Ottawa takes on the Chicago Blackhawks and Connor Bedard on Saturday. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all soon. Go Sens, go.